So now from this season, the next season that happens after spring is summer, and we are approaching summer. Today in Turin, where I'm based in Italy, I'm from Singapore, but now I'm based in Turin. We've had a very summery day, even though it is still springtime. So summer is this time of full bloom, full heat as well. You experience this in the form of midday, of the full moon, of this sense of flourishing and being fully out in the world, of being seen. So you are fully showing the world who you are. And in the menstrual cycle, this is typically associated with the time of ovulation. So ovulation is usually actually only around one day, but typically around 2 to 3 days before and after ovulation, that window of perhaps around 5 days is when most people who are menstruating are the most fertile. So if you are hoping to conceive, this is a good time. You want to track your menstrual cycle from the first day of when your first bleed is, that is day one, until the last day before your next cycle. So that will be your cycle. And you want to do this for a few rounds so that you know this full length of this cycle, how long it is. And this will also shift depending on whether you are stressed, whether you are eating well, whether there are external factors like trauma, whether you are moving countries, you have just changed your job. All these things from outside affect us internally. So let's come back to the season of summer and ovulation and productivity and fertility. So the fire element is associated with showing up fully in the world. This is a great time, and many menstruating individuals, they say they report feeling very outgoing. This is a good time to connect with others and to connect with the world. In the yin yang spectrum and the via positiva and via negativa, this is when you are the most outward facing and the least connected within to yourself, which could have pros and cons. So the pros are, this is a great time to socialize. This is a great time to learn from others, to connect with others, to receive from the world. On the other hand, this is when you are perhaps least connected with yourself, with the source of who you are, your identity, your more inner motivations, your source of being, and your greater why for why you want to wake up in this every single morning and what you want to share with the world from the way you are, from your relationships, from your work, so on and so forth. So, one very important thing here is to connect with yourself and to show up in the world authentically. When you do so, then you will really flourish from inside out, and you will really connect with a true confidence and power that is yours. What happens is for many women at this time, because of this rise in energy, a lot of the people I work with who are menstruating, they report saying that at this time they might then take on too many things or start to compare with others in the world, because we are so social, and you start to look outwards in the world and you start to think, oh, I could be like that, or I could also do that. And you might get distracted, anxious, or you lose your connection with who you are, that internal focus. That, remember, during the menstrual cycle in the winter time, during your bleed, that is a great time to source that and keep that with you as you depart and move furthest away from that. So keep that with you. And when you reconnect with this authenticity, for example, maybe you're launching a new program, or maybe you're starting a new position at work, or perhaps you are embarking on a experiment in a relationship that you have with yourself or with the world or with someone you love. You want to connect with this thing that is external, but at the same time, remember and keep at the center of your heart this heartfelt intention, this root and the source, this watery source of wisdom close to you, so that you don't compromise who you are, and you don't compromise your true sense of your being while you show up fully in the world. And the fire element is associated with the heart energy channel in the small intestines. It is associated with The arms as well. For example, the inner arms is where the heart and the pericardium energy channels they run in the arms. When out of balance, this shows up in the form of anxiety. It shows up in the form of imposter syndrome, not knowing who you are. You want to be out social in the world, but you don't really know who you are because there's too much social comparison and you forget from the previous cycles, or perhaps you didn't really connect deeply within yourself to understand who you are so that then you can show up in the world. Remember, we spiral into ourselves to then spiral out into the world. It is a dichotomy. We need both of these things, and we can't show up in the world fully without first having this deep connection that is inside. So that's the fire element. And I wanted to, since I've been talking for quite long, and want to invite you to also do something that will help you connect within rather than just listening. And some of you who are regulars may already know this. Let's connect with a point that is a great way to soothe anxiety and to create safety. And this is for the pericardium, which is a somatic structure that wraps around your heart. Think of it as a cloak or a blanket, a sheath for your heart. And you can create a loose fist with one palm. And we also have our friend joining here, Didi, today. Between the third and fourth finger, you can find this point, pericardium. And this point, Lao Gong, the working palace, is connected directly to the heart. We'll use your thumb to gently massage this point. It's an important healing point in Qigong, as well as in Reiki, in Thai massage. We press down on this point as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, imagine you send your breath to the heart and you sigh it out. Gently release. Let's try this once again. Press to breathe in. And breathe out, gently release. And you can gently circle and massage this point. And then slowly we'll try the same on the other side as well. So between the third and fourth finger, when you create a loose fist, right in the center of the palm. For many people, it might feel a little tender. You can press as you breathe in. And then breathing out, sighing it out, send the breath to your heart. Let's try this again. Press to breathe in. Breathing out, send the breath to your heart. Gently circle and massage. And then if you wish, we're going to stack the palms one on top of the other in the front of the heart, connecting with your heart center, with your middle energy center, your middle dantian, your elixir field. And feel that you are receiving energy from your heart, and you're also sending this energy back into your heart embracing you, you embracing your heart. Feel free to stay for as long as it feels good for you here. And when you feel ready to release, slowly letting your eyes, if they are closed, let them blink open. So this is a very, very short somatic practice that you can do to ground your energy whenever you're feeling stressed, anxious, fearful as well. I find this very, very helpful. Many of my clients report this being something that's really helpful and effective in very triggering situations. So you can do that to connect with your heart, with the pericardium and the fire element. So as we transition from let's see, Alexandra has just asked, is it the third and fourth finger from the pinky inwards? So between the third and fourth finger, roughly, when you make a loose fist, right in the center of the palm, most people report feeling a little tender, this spot, and you might try. And don't worry, because the point is actually really small. When you use your thumb, you will actually manage to access this point. This is a great point to begin to create a sense of safety and a holding, and to reconnect with that space of love, and self love, as well as self confidence and self affirmation. Give me a moment as to prevent our dog from chewing our sofa.